I'll start here in a second. I know it's been a minute since I've been on here. Let's see if anyone hops on. 7 o'clock in the morning, my time. I'm even late getting on. Is anybody awake? Hello. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and start. And anybody hops on, you can go back and listen. I'm going to talk about a couple of things this morning. So I talked about this a little earlier. I don't remember which one it was that I talked about, but so I got on our community page a few days ago, and I'm just going to call this man the Scrooge. His post started out with, "We are not people's pocketbooks." And that if you need help, then you need to work harder and get another job. And it didn't matter if you had like 2 jobs, get a third one or a fourth one or whatever. I mean, this man was crude. All because someone asked for help. So, one, he doesn't know the whole situation. For all he knows, this person could have been a government employee that was having to go to work with no pay. What if that person had kids and couldn't feed their children? What if that person had been laid off because they were a government employee? Or what if that person was just laid off in general because their company shut down because they weren't getting financed anymore because of everything going on right now? Or what if that person was injured and couldn't go to work and they're not getting their disability, or they're not getting something, he doesn't know that. Or what if it was someone that just happened to run onto bad luck and just needed a little bit of help? And in my opinion, things like that, it got brought up again. Things like that just piss me off. Simply because someone is asking for help doesn't mean you have the right to judge them. Especially this time of the year, when things are going to be tight and people are going to be scared because they're not able to provide. Because this time of the year is when people expect things. And I know that's sad to say, but this is the most commercialized time of the year. Kids go to school, they hear from other kids about how they're going to get this and they're going to get that. And, mommy and daddy are going to take them here and there and blah, 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 blah. This is literally the most commercialized time of the year. This is the time where most everything is exploited out like no other. And everything out there, little kids especially, are just like, oh, I want that. Oh, I want that. And no, you don't have to spoil your kids, and you don't have to get your kids all these wild expensive gifts and stuff like that. But it puts a lot of pressure on parents. And it makes them feel like they can't provide. And I'm not saying skip a meal. I'm not saying don't go buy food, because I'm telling you right now, food comes first. When you have your income check come in or your whatever, whether it's disability, Social Security, or whether you have a job and it pays you whatever time it pays you, go buy food. Go get food. Make sure you have food. Because I'm here to tell you, I did not used to do that. I used to go and pay all the bills first and then buy food. And I mean, granted, I would budget like it was, we had the food most of the time, but we would be short on certain things. But don't get me wrong, my kids were always fed. We always had food in the house, and no matter what, we always had food. But there were things that I would have loved to have gotten my kids food wise. But I made everything. I made the brownies and the cakes and the cookies and the candy and the pies and all that stuff. I made all that stuff. So they didn't have to go out and buy it from a store because little Miss Betty Crocker here made it. We even made popsicles and they liked them. Granted, I would buy popsicles from the store, but we made ice cream, we made popsicles, we did all that stuff. People need to learn how to do those things again because things are expensive and it's so much cheaper if you make it yourself. But my point is, buy food first. And if you need help with bills or something, ask for help if you need it. Don't be embarrassed because you got some asshat Scrooge that gets on there and says, we're not your pocketbook. And he wants to act like that because he's being selfish. Because there's two kinds of people in this world. There's givers and there's takers. And the takers are the people who feel entitled and don't feel like they need to help anybody. They are selfish, and most of them do have money, and most of them have a savings or whatever, and they've got money that they could probably help somebody with. But they choose not to because they don't want to, because they're selfish. And it doesn't matter who that person is, they're selfish. And they're selfish in a way that they choose to be stingy with their money. And I'm sorry, but if you cannot help a family member or a friend or something like that when they are in dire need of help and you turn your back on them, you are selfish. I'm sorry, but you are. I don't care what they've done in their past. I don't care what has happened. If you have someone that you know that is in dire need of help and you know for a fact that they need help and you turn your back on them, I'm sorry, but that's wrong. That is not okay. It's just not. I was standing next to a woman one time who was on disability, and she was trying to get the city to keep her lights on. She was a senior citizen on disability. And our city utility bill is you pay it by a certain date or it is shut off. There is no extension. There is no payment plan. There is nothing. Our utility bills out here are very high. I mean, very, very high. And they charge like sewage and water and everything like all together. The sewage bill is twice as high as the water bill. And this woman was standing there trying so hard to get them to let her make payments or do something because she did not have enough money to pay her utility bill. And this woman's on Social Security and she needed her electricity. And this is a little old woman. She had to have been in her late 80s. And they were like, no, you either pay your bill or we're shutting off your utilities. Well, I mean, I didn't have that much money, and I knew that if I gave her the money, I would be cutting into my grocery bill. But you know what I did? I paid her utility bill. Did I regret it? Not one bit. Not at all. Because I know that that was the right thing to do. When you're standing in line at a grocery store and someone's standing there and they don't have enough money to pay their bill, chip in, pay it, help them out. There's nothing wrong with that. Pay it forward when you're in a line at a restaurant, McDonald's, Sonic, wherever, it doesn't matter. You might have just made someone's day. You will never know how you make someone feel until you've done something like that, and then you actually see something on social media later that day and them saying something about it. It puts so much joy in your heart to see that you completely change someone's day just by paying for a simple cup of coffee at McDonald's or a meal at McDonald's. I mean, granted, you don't know what they're buying, but who cares? You're paying it forward. You're gifting somebody something. So, all I'm asking is to uncover the selfish hearts and do something. We used to gift people when my kids were younger. And we used to, for Thanksgiving, we would box up an entire meal for Thanksgiving. And we would pick out people that we knew could not afford to buy a meal for Thanksgiving. And we would sneak up in their yard and we would put the meal on their front porch. And we would say they've been turkeyed. Hello. And when they opened up that door and they saw that big, huge box with that meal on it, they were shocked because some of these people didn't even think they were going to get a Thanksgiving dinner. And they look out there and all of a sudden there's a box with a turkey and all the fixings in it. And my kids just thought that was the coolest thing ever. In the winter around Christmas, we would go shopping for families and we would buy little like coats or clothes or gifts, and we would wrap them up and we would put them inside of boxes, and we would put like a meal together, and we would run up on their yard and we would put the stuff on their front porch. And my kids, they thought that was the coolest thing ever, to go and gift somebody. And we would ghost people on Halloween, and that was cookies or little things of candy or something like that. We would egg friends on, and it wasn't eggs like chicken eggs either. We would egg friends on, hello. We would egg friends on Easter, where we would take baskets and we would fill them full of stuff, and we would go and put them on their front porch, and then we would say, "You've been egged." My kids thought that was the coolest thing ever because you're giving something to somebody. So if you see somebody that needs something, go help. If you have something in your house you're going to throw away, hello, like blankets or coats or gloves, if they're still good, don't throw them away. Go to your, like in Kansas City, they have a thing downtown that you can go and you can give your coat to the homeless. You can give your blanket to the homeless. You could go downtown by Children's Mercy Hospital. You can find homeless people all over the place down there. There's shelters everywhere down there. Go and give them to the shelters. They can hand them out. You can take like ramen noodles. Oh my gosh. Go and give them some ramen noodles. They can go into a convenience store and just walk in the door and say, hey, I'm bringing this in. And they can just heat up some ramen noodles or go just anything that you have in your house that they could stay warm with this winter. Don't throw it away. Give it to somebody. Give it to somebody in need. Kids, if they've got a lot of toys and you're going to be going through their toy boxes, don't throw those toys away. Donate them, because there's toys out there that can be given to other children, because there's a lot of kids that won't be getting anything. And I know because I was one of those kids when I was little. Because my monster, he never got us anything for Christmas. We didn't celebrate Christmas and we didn't celebrate my birthday unless I was with my mom or when my stepmom came into the picture. Because his idea of celebration was him getting drunk and beating the shit out of us. So we didn't get anything. It wasn't until my stepdad came into the picture that I started getting a birthday or a Christmas or even a good holiday. So understand, I know what it's like to not have anything. I know what it's like to be poor. I know what it's like to not have food. I know what it's like to have all of those things. So I'm telling you from somebody who's been there as that child with a parent. My parent chose to be like that, though. Don't be that judgmental ass that says something like that guy did on social media and not help somebody. Don't be that selfish-hearted person. Help. So if you know somebody or you see somebody in need, legitimately in need, I'm not talking about somebody that gets on there and begs for help 24/7. I'm not talking about somebody that doesn't want to help themselves. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about somebody that legitimately needs the help, that normally would never ask for help, that normally doesn't get on there and say anything, or that just needs a little help because something happened. Help them, or donate, or do something like that, because that's when it means the most. And you're making somebody's day. You could completely change someone's life. 100%. You don't know, that person could literally be contemplating a very bad thing that day. And you could completely change their life that day. All because you helped them. So just think about that. You know? So, anyway, I know it was a very strong subject to talk about this early in the morning, but I had to do it because it was on my mind. People like that bug me. I'm going through my stuff right now, and I've been donating places that you can donate. So I'm in Kansas City. Well, I'm not in Kansas City, but I'm in a small town outside of Kansas City. So places that you can donate are churches, shelters, food pantries, kitchens. You can also like Hope House, things like that. If you have any shelters for women shelters, men shelters, you can always find places like that. And Actually, it's 7 o'clock in the morning by me. It's 7:19 in the morning by me. But anyway, you can donate to shelters and things like that. Those would be the best places to donate. And actually, the sun hasn't even risen yet. Why? How late is it by you? It's still pretty dark outside, but I'm wondering if it's because it's supposed to rain and it's foggy. Well, it actually is raining a little bit right now. Because I just had to walk down the driveway to get my mail. I'm probably going to get off here in a second because I got to go let my dog in. But anyway, so when you guys go and help somebody, don't expect anything in return. Just help them because you want to. So, let me know where you're from, where you're hopping on here from, and follow me or subscribe to my channel. I've also got a TikTok now. I'm learning how to use it. I wasn't gonna get a TikTok, but my kids talked me into it, and my husband talked me into it, so I got one. So I'll put the link on here. Anyway, so subscribe to me. If you have any questions, go to my community and you can chat with me on there. And I will try to get back on here later today. And then I'll see you guys either later today or first thing in the morning. So I will talk to you later. Have a wonderful day and be safe.